We are kicking off Speed Readings 2.0 on August 8th, and if you'd like to view all 4 sessions, August 8th, 14th, 17th, or 20th, you can now get the all-access live viewing pass on funastrology.com. This time, we're opening the door to all 4 sessions, but live only. I learned so much from Robert last time, and I know you will too. So if you'd like to get links to all 4 sessions, it's only $19.97. That is an incredible bargain. Go to funastrology.com to get yours now. You know, I've kind of got the coyote howl down pretty good, ow, like for full moons. What I don't have down so well is a lion's roar. I don't know if you can do that one. That's just a whole different sound. But anyway, it is time to roar like the lion because at 3:44 this morning, we go into Leo season. Hi, everybody. Thomas Miller on Monday, July 22nd. Thanks for joining us. Real quick announcement, the viewer ticket, the viewer all-access pass for all 4 of the Speed Reading 2.0 dates that we are doing in August, Robert Glasscock and me, is available now on funastrology.com. So all the information is there. Go check it out, funastrology.com, if you'd like to grab that. It's all access to all 4 while they are live, not recorded. You won't get a recording. You get to watch them all live, and that's for $20. So incredible deal. Now, in the sky today, there is only one thing, and that is the sun moving into Leo, 3:44 this morning. If you're catching this right as it's released, maybe you'll catch it. Otherwise, it will be in the past tense for that. But the energy around us will switch from water to fire, which is going to be interesting because water was quite an experience, wasn't it? And another attribute of Leo is that it is a fixed sign. So like Taurus, like Scorpio, and like Aquarius, when a Leo gets their mind on something, usually it's pretty set. But I'll tell you, I love the sign of Leo. I think it's I'm probably a closet Leo myself, because one thing that Leos want to do, typically, not always, but typically, they want to express themselves in the world. So for all of us, this is a month of self-expression. Focus on that thing that you've been holding back on just a little bit that you would really like to put out there, but you're just not sure. Great time to do it over the next 30 days. And remember, other people are going to want to be doing the same too, so you'll have to watch how those paths cross, because people might be more self-expressive than they have been. They might not only want to talk, but need to talk. From a standpoint of, I want to be heard, I need to be heard, need to be self-expressed. So one of the things we can do, kind of on the highest timeline side of this, of course within boundaries, is to give them a listening if somebody needs to be heard. You can be an ear if you're a good friend, and obviously bring the conversation around to how they can bring out the best in themselves. Now, there is one aspect. Remember, whenever anything changes signs, it's encountering 2 planets now, right? Well, let's just focus on one, that one that has been at the door of every sign change, including the moon, Pluto. Because tomorrow, early at 1:37, so this is a package. You're getting the sun moving into Leo, and tomorrow early it opposes Pluto. So this is the sun for all of us opposing Pluto. On Friday evening, while I was working on the Merriman podcast, actually, Chet sent me a news blip that First Baptist Church in downtown Dallas was on fire, the old sanctuary. A lot of you know my story from the Subconscious Mind Mastery podcast. That was where we attended. In fact, for 4 years in the 1990s, I was a neighbor to the former pastor, Dr. W.A. Criswell. Both of my kids were dedicated in that church. When I was in that environment, that was where we went. And basically, if Protestantism had a Vatican, that church, at least, let's say, through the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and into the 80s, would have been that symbolism, at least from the Southern Baptist perspective. I don't know that anybody else would have attached to that. But there is, seriously, a lot of emotion around this for me, personally. A lot of processing. But I cast the chart for when it happened, which was about 6 p.m. Friday evening, Dallas, Texas. And I noticed, first of all, that Sagittarius was the rising sign, so there's the spirituality. Also, that former pastor was a Sagittarian. In the lowest floor, the basement area, I guess as they call it, they had a reconstruction of his office, his desk, his pulpit, and a lot of his archives, all gone. They had an incredible pipe organ, gone. The construction in the 1890s is not like they do today. It was actually similar in design to Carnegie Hall, and the acoustics are just incredible in there. Gone. And that chart had Pluto in the second house of that which we value. And in that chart, the second house in the equal house system was ruled by Capricorn. The old message that is being transformed, the changes. And Pluto was opposite the sun, which, of course, when you're looking at an event like that, the sun is the individual. In this case, would be the collective, that church, First Baptist Dallas. And 4 days of applying orb to this opposition on Tuesday morning. Really, I guess you could say, because it was late in the evening and this was early in the morning, you could probably say 3.5 days. And if you don't think that I haven't been through a whole realm of emotions around this, because this was personal, but what I see is this is also part of the shift. The investigations will determine whether this was intentional or accidental, but either way, here, in the shadow of last Monday's Uranus-Mars conjunction, which Uranus has been the theme of the entire week, this destruction of what was very important, the possessions, second house, possessions, that which is important to you, demolished. The building will have to come down. The sun, the church, in the 8th house, death, rebirth, transformation, caterpillar, butterfly. And then that Mars-Uranus conjunction was in the 6th house of this event chart, which is the house of service. In this case, you can expect that the way that they serve in the future will certainly be changed because of this. And as I was going inside and just asking and listening more than anything, it just felt like this is part of the shift. It's very symbolic of the shift. So I would add that for all of us is to be on the alert for ways that we can. I mean, it doesn't mean that things like that shake-up kind of thing are going to happen, but they can if it needs to. And somehow, some way, this was not accidental from the standpoint of the big picture, the picture that we view. And I know when I had Pluto crossing over my planets, when all of my transformation took place, it shook me up, it took me down, but it did so for a massive, wonderful transformation. And that's what I hope happens here, that this is part of this shift into this new era, as Ray Merriman calls it, AIRA, Aries, Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries in 2026, and things are changing as these outer planets reposition themselves. Today nothing can surprise us. And you know what I ordered over the weekend to help me get through it? From Walmart, I had it delivered. A popcorn popper. See you tomorrow.